Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the Community Pod, and I am your host, Lester Class. Each and every episode is going to be filled with amazing stories from amazing people. You will hear the different journeys people went through, or are still going through, to be able to do what they love. From the failures to the successes and everything in between. This is a place to get to know the person behind their passion, because people only get to see the successes and not what it took to get there. If this is your first time tuning in, please subscribe and leave a review if you love the content. Now finally, I would love to welcome you to the Community Pod. What's going on, everyone? This is the Community Pod, and I'm back with another episode. I got my boy Kase in the building. What's going on?
What's going on, my guy?
How's everything?
I'm good. Can't complain.
All right, cool. So we usually just start off with basically, would you be able to give a quick introduction to the people as to what is it that you do?
I go by the name of Kase. I am an entrepreneur, an artist, a songwriter, a business owner, a motivational speaker, and I'm just somebody that's for the people. That's me.
Cool,
yeah.
Cool. So let's start off from the beginning. Where is it that you're from?
I like to just say Jersey.
Okay.
Just because, like, I moved around so much. So, like,
Okay.
Hillside, I lived in Elizabeth. I even moved towards the south. So, I went to school in Jersey 2 times. So, it's, like, everywhere, bro. I'm just from Jersey. I rep Jersey as a whole, yeah.
I want to first off go ahead and say that I actually grew up in Hillside. So, I find that a little bit crazy.
Wow, that's crazy.
So where did you live most of your life? I guess your early age.
Hillside.
Hillside?
Yeah, up until about 10.
10 years old?
Yeah.
Okay, so you went to we're gonna have to get a little bit of detail, but you went to Morris.
I went to AP Morris.
AP
then
Morris.
I went to Calvin Coolidge.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, who was your teacher? It was a long time ago, I know.
Yeah, I barely remember. I don't even remember the teacher, honestly.
All right. So what was life like for yourself growing up in Hillside?
It was cool. I just feel like I was just an innocent kid, high yellow. You know what I mean? That for the black audience, that's like super light skin. Like I was just some yellow ass kid, smiling all day, just super innocent. And you know, we had church obviously every Sunday. I played sports. I played basketball my whole life, and I was just a funny kid, a goofy kid. Didn't really know myself. That's how I kind of remember it.
Got you.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you do a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's music, being an entrepreneur, being a motivational speaker. We could go on and on, right?
Yeah.
But where is it that you found the passion to do all these things?
It was always in me. Pause. It was always there. You know, like it's the further you go into yourself, the more you find it. But the more I'm finding that person, the more I realize it's just who I was as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it though. Like there's a process of self-realization that I had to go through. And I'm realizing that the goal is to get back to who you started as.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I was already confident as a kid. I was already funny as a kid. I was already cool. You know what I mean? I was already a lot of who I am today. So I feel like it was always there. I just had to rediscover it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when it comes to things like that, right? When going back and taking something like a quality or a personality trait that your younger self may have, what would you tell our generation or older people? What traits should they take from their younger self that can help them so much in life now?
Anything positive. Like we kind of let the world break us down. You know, as a kid, you go through things. As a teenager, you go through things, and even as an adult, and sometimes we don't heal. I just feel like the best way to navigate that is to heal. Really analyze what you go through, what you've been through, who might have affected you. And one of my favorite things is like people say, what happened to you is not your fault, but what you do after that is 100% your fault. You know what I mean? So we could sit here and point the finger. She did this to me. He did that. She said this. He said that. But at the end of the day, you have to take accountability. Just because these things happen to me does not mean the next 10, 20 years have to be like that, you know?
Yeah.
So as far as like the traits, I mean, just the purity. Remain pure. The world wants you to be beaten down. They want you to be exhausted. But I feel like I'm able to progress through life because I still have that purity, that childlike energy. Like I want to have fun. I want to laugh. I want to create.
Yeah.
As kids, we were so creative. You could literally give me a stick and some mud and I'll say we have a whole restaurant here. You know what I mean? Like all kids have done that, you know? So I think it's important to just remain the purest version of yourself and remain creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that people need to heal. Why do you feel like it's so important for people to heal?
Because you'll hurt people. You know, you'll end up hurting someone else who's pure, you know, so you need to heal yourself. And it's just for yourself, you know, just so that you can navigate through your adulthood with the clearest intention and the clearest mind and the clearest thoughts. We don't know how much trauma really affects us. It affects your responses. You know, like I could have came in here like this. And because someone did something to me when I was 6, you know, like, no, you got to heal, relax, breathe, enjoy life, enjoy the present moment. And that's just kind of where I am at this point in time. I think it's very important that us as adults, we get to that point.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of people have difficulty getting to a point that you're at right now where you feel confident in what you were able to do or what you're able to eventually accomplish or accomplishing at this moment. Many individuals don't get that, especially at a young age. Yeah. They start to realize that once so much time has already passed and they've been hurt for so long, right? How would you say it was difficult for you to find this true self of yours?
Yeah, of course. It was super difficult. And I'm just being completely transparent. There's days where you want to cry or you do cry, but you have to release. I learned that crying is probably the most healthy thing you can do. Not to say I just walk around boo-hooing all day, but crying is a form of release. Yelling is a form of release. You know, like when no one's around, I'll probably just yell. You know what I mean? Get it out. Things need to come out of you in order for you to move forward. So you asked me, how did I get to this point?
Was it difficult?
Yeah, it was difficult because it goes against what I was taught a man was. You know, a man is, you know, they say that a man is supposed to not show his emotions, be stern, be decisive, you know, just kind of a brick wall. You know what I mean? And I had to learn that wasn't healthy. So as a man today, I'm very expressive. I'm very open. And I learned how to manage my masculine energy and my feminine energy because we all have both. Some people are way too masculine where it's like, I can't even tell this guy I had a bad day. Yeah. You're going to make it something, you know what I mean? Or some people are too much in their feminine where it's like, you're going to explode. You're going to be too emotional about this. We all have to kind of find that balance, men or women. Yeah. So that's something that I strive for. So if my little brother may need me, I might have to tap into my feminine. Like, okay, how was school today? What's going on? Who did it? And then if he say who did it, then I could go into my masculine. Okay, let's go to the school. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have to gauge it and figure out where your balance is. But I think it's super important that everyone masters themselves, you know, master your own energy. And that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Okay. Yeah. So I do want to mention something what I feel like you mean when you say tap into feminine. I just think that it's hard to, especially for a man to go into where it's just like not the feminine, but the emotions. Yeah. Because what we're known as, what the norm is that men can't tap into these emotions, but females can. But it is important for males to tap into the emotional parts because you'll forever be broken if you don't. 100%. And men don't know, a lot of men don't understand that because in order to be a man in this world, I feel like with our generations, it's changing and, you know, we're always evolving. But a lot of like the individuals that we looked up to or like our parents or other men in our lives, we may have, you tell them, I had a bad day. Like you were saying. Yeah. I had a bad day too, but you don't see me crying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. But it is okay to cry sometimes. It's okay to be like, listen, cry, get back up and keep going. Yeah. So I just feel like going into that just a little bit more because I feel like that was just something that we could, you know, talk about. Yeah. So just to go forward with you and your music career, right? One, I got to say that I listened to a few of your tracks from all the way back in 2018. And I can say that you've definitely evolved over time. Yep. I think that your talent as well as the progression in your voice as well as I want to say the beats that are being produced, you on top of it are getting a lot better. And I've been enjoying your recent tracks. I appreciate as that. Well as your older tracks. I just feel like I like to watch the growth as well. Yeah. Because some people just listen to your recent and then go, you're great. But they don't understand that there's growth in between. So when it comes to growth, just you as an individual, like, do you feel like you are at a spot where growth has, I guess, like, hold on, I want to restate that. Yeah. with growth, right, when it comes to your life, do you feel like it took you a while to get to where you are right now?
Well, yeah, it did take me a while, but I think my music career, like me leaving school and starting music up until this moment, are synonymous with my growth. I needed to leave school. I needed to be an entrepreneur. I needed to find my way in order to find my way in here, you know? So everything evolved. I evolved, and then the music evolved. You know, they literally ran side by side. But it's been a long journey. I would say about 5 years, honestly. But anyone who knew me 5 years ago could see that you're a completely different person. But I don't want to say different. I want to say an evolved person, like you said, and a more evolved person. I'm more conscious. I'm more aware. And it did take a long time, and I don't feel like I'm done. I don't feel like you ever finish. There's always more things to improve on and grow from. And then life comes again, you know, life comes to test you. So I think this is a forever process. I'll probably be 100 still learning myself. You know what I mean? Because you constantly evolve. We're never the same unless you choose to be.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm going to have kids. I'm going to have a daughter or a son. There's going to be things in myself that I didn't see as this 26-year-old person. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's been a long journey, but it's been a wonderful journey. Like, I realized how much I was hurting myself, you know, like just mentally and making things a big deal when they weren't. Just learning how to relax, enjoy the present moment. Yeah, it took a while, but it's more than worth it for sure. Yeah.
So you mentioned that you did motivational speaking, right? Did you do that before the music, or
nah? This came after.
Okay.
I had my mother actually went to a school to do an interview. St. Benedict's Prep.
Okay.
They introduced the girls class. They were an all boys school for like 100 years. Then last year they introduced girls into their school, and they called my mom to do it, and she's like, they want you to do it too, because they knew me from her. So we went up there, and you know, I was able to speak to all the girls about life, parents, you know, me and my mom's relationship, and just growth in general, and how to handle yourself in adulthood. And I think hearing it from my mom's perspective, which is a woman's, and a male's perspective, kind of hit them a little different, to the point where they were like asking me questions at the end, you know, like, so that's kind of how that started. But it was a wonderful experience, for real.
Got you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with most motivational speaking as well as your music career, they do collide a lot.
Yeah.
Where you were able to speak about your feelings, but I feel like you do the same thing on your music. So just to, I guess, backtrack a little bit, I just want to go into, so where is it that you found your passion for making music?
It was always there. You know, my theory on life is that what you're supposed to be doing was always there. You just ignored it. You weren't aware of it. So music was something like, I would listen to songs and I'm like, yo, I love this song. Like I would have girls in the car. I'm listening to all the old songs. Like, yo, I rock with this song. Like I'm saying like 2003, the 1990s, the 80s, the 70s. Like music, I love music. I always did, but I never was like, I'm going to make music. I felt like everybody does that, and I never wanted to be like everyone else. So now that I'm doing it, I'm realizing you're not like everyone else. You're actually just your one unique self. You know what I mean? So I just feel like it was always there. It was always there. It just had to be brought out.
Got you.
Yeah.
So when, like, we could go back, you also mentioned that you have a clothing brand. So I feel like balancing all this, right?
Yeah.
Have you been able to find that?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's hard. It's definitely difficult. Especially, we have to add other things into it. Like I learned how to engineer, so I engineer my own music. I record myself. I do my own content. You know, I'm the one editing my content, putting the words up and putting the logos, and you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm also designing my own clothes. This came out of my brain, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a lot on your brain to be creative. That's why the people around you kind of have to build you up. You know, they kind of have to be there as a support. But when they're not there to support, and you can't support yourself, sometimes it does get a little bit draining, and I have to take a few days away from everything. You know what I mean? Just to like, what I'm learning is energy. I'm really learning energy, and how if you don't learn how to cleanse your energy, you could be in a rut.
Yep.
I've been in a rut because I might have spoken somewhere or talked to a lot of people, then go record, then went to the studio with these people, and next thing you know, I feel completely drained. I was around a lot of energies, and me personally, I'm just like super sensitive to a lot of people.
Yeah.
And this is something I learned, but it's more of a spiritual thing. Like energetically, I'm sensitive to a lot of people. Not in person. I could say what's up to everybody, but when I go back home, it's like it's a little draining.
Yeah.
So it's hard to balance it. It really is. It definitely is. But I try.
Yeah.
I definitely try.
We all got to.
Yeah.
Do you feel, because what I can say from you right now, I know that we're very like early into the podcast, but the fact of the matter is that your energy and your confidence is radiating off of you very, very well.
Appreciate
like,
it.
of course. And I feel like a lot of people have difficulty finding that confidence, like we were talking about a little earlier. Were you always this confident?
This is a new level. This, to me, I like calling it Godfidence. Okay. Like, this is the version of me who is very sure about what I'm doing. I was always confident, but I was still like, who am I? You know, but right now I have a clear understanding of who I am, why I'm here on earth, what I'm supposed to do while I'm here. And I'm on that path. Like, I'm in complete alignment. So what you're seeing is just, I'm even getting chills from it. Chills means your soul resonates with it. So like my soul is probably like, yeah, you're right. But yeah, I'm just in complete alignment with why I'm here and what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think that's kind of the energy that I give off now. It's a completely different feel than back in the day when I'm on the court making shots and I'm confident. You know what I mean? But this is Godfidence. Like, this is different, and I feel it. And I know it. It's a knowing. It's no longer a belief. Like, belief is like, beliefs can be swayed. There's things I believed 10 years ago that I don't believe anymore. You know what I mean? A belief isn't as strong as a knowing. When you know something, there's no line. It has to happen. You know what I mean? Like this. I don't believe that I'm going to make it. I don't believe that I'm supposed to do this. No, I know I am. And you're going to see it. And you are seeing it. And it's going to manifest. And it is manifesting. You know what I mean? So there's just no ounce of doubt in me. And that only happened from doing the work, healing myself, understanding myself, from taking risk, leaving school, doing your own shows, doing your own content. And then it's also from those hard nights where you don't have money, where you don't have time, where you don't know where you're going to get the next idea or the next song or the next anything from. Those moments have completely built me into what you see today. And I only want to keep that going. You know what I mean? Like, I can only imagine how I'm going to be next year or the following year. But it's just a knowing. It's a knowing. Yeah.
Got you. So what advice would you give to somebody who's trying to get that confidence, or at least bring that confidence back?
Ignore it. Ignore the confidence, because I don't like putting titles on things. You know what I mean? Like, you just have to be you to the fullest. That's what you're seeing right now. I'm just being me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally just being me. So you got confidence out of it. But in reality, I'm just being the best me that I could be in this moment. So forget the whole confidence thing. Forget everything. Just be the best you at every moment that you can be. And all of that stuff's going to come. Got you. Like, don't pick yourself apart is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. People will pick you apart, but you just be as whole as you can be, and you be as much you as you can be. And everything's going to fall into place.
So how important is authenticity?
It's the most important thing. Like, I believe in God, so I believe that he made all of us individuals, right? Even a twin still has maybe one little thing that's only they got, you know? So I think authenticity is, if you don't have that, then you don't really have anything. You're basically in no man's land. Like, you're a lost soul, in my opinion, because everyone has something that they're supposed to bring to the table. It's called the universe, right? We're in the universe, one song. So we all have a little pitch or frequency that we all got to play. If you ain't playing that, then you messing me up, you messing her up. Imagine a whole band or a orchestra. Yeah. And somebody's off. It's going to be like, damn. You know what I mean? This is why we all have to be 100% ourselves. 100%. 100%. So authenticity is everything to me, because without that, I wouldn't be me. Yeah.
And I feel like what's sad is that we have this little bit, well, it can't be sad because this is the story of everybody's life, right? Well, not everybody's, but a lot of people. When you go back in time, right, you are the most authentic individual that you could possibly be as a child, because you're doing the things you want. You're acting the way that you want to act. You're doing all the things that you possibly can. You know what I mean? Yep. Then you get into school, and all of that is taken away.
They start picking you apart.
Exactly. Yep. As well as the individuals next to you, because they're confused. Yep. And it's just like, I don't want to say a school system, but it's the fact of the matter is that when you bring all these kids together that don't really know what they're doing, they're going through adolescence, and they're confused. They start to follow one another.
And the blind leading the blind.
Exactly. So do you feel like were you one of those kids? Were you one of those kids that, you know, because everybody goes through it when they're a child that like they don't know who they are. They're trying to figure themselves out. I actually want to completely change that question because I just thought of something. When it comes to that, if a child was watching this, right, maybe high school, maybe even all the way back to elementary, because I feel like in those that's where everything gets influenced, and you don't start realizing it until you actually. I feel like sometimes when you graduate and you start to find out that you really are on your own because you grew up in this school system that you're constantly with somebody. You're with your friend group that you think is your friend group, but sometimes, a lot of the times, the people that you hung out with in high school, you don't hang out with anymore. So you leave this school system and you don't realize that, you're on your own now and you now make these decisions. So what advice would you give to an individual that may be trying to find themselves?
Spend time with yourself. Self-love. That's another thing I didn't mention. That has helped me tremendously. Like I tell my girlfriend, like I tell anyone who I care about, it's journal, meditate, spend time with yourself, put your phone down, just sit there for 10 minutes, think. These are some, and do what you love. These are some of the things that helped me become who I am today. You know, like I didn't BS with my time with myself. A lot of people BS. You want to be on your phone, want to play games. That's cool. But you also have to have some time outside or with no electronics, just by yourself. Even if it's 10 minutes a day, you'll find something out about yourself. Or I feel like it's just some type of energy that comes when you start loving yourself. You start building up your own boundaries. You start saying no to things, and no is like the most powerful thing you can say. You know, one of the things, like, no, I'm not doing it. You stop betraying yourself. So the more what I would say to a child right now or a kid is to do what you love and spend time with yourself now. So I always think about stuff like that because obviously I want to be a father one day. I'm not crying. Obviously I want to be a father one day. And I think about like, how am I going to raise my kids with what I know now? And I think that's one thing is to teach them to be okay by themselves. Because everything you said was attached to someone else, right? So if you're cool by yourself and standing out the crowd, then you already a mile ahead of me. You know what I mean? So, or anyone else, because most people go with the crowd.
Exactly.
They go, "What? Oh, these shoes are nice right now. Okay, let's buy those." Do what you want.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And I find that so funny that you bring that up because I feel like especially with like clothing and the way that you dress, the way that you act, the way that you present yourself is often individuals that you may have encountered with and you like them. That you're like, oh, he's cool, or that's the definition of cool. So I want to be like that. You know what I mean? And then when you, like I said, once you get into this area of life where like you are on your own and you make your own decisions, you start to realize little things where like, damn, I kind of like the New Balances. I kind of like not wearing Jordans. Because Jordans are cool. Don't get me wrong. If you like Jordans because you genuinely like Jordans, that's cool. But like, there's other brands that are amazing as well. And that's just a little aspect of life, because those are materialistic things. If you really present yourself as authentic as you possibly can be, it's the best possibility in this world that you can be who you are. You also mentioned something about time, and I feel like some people don't realize how important and how valuable time is. So I wanted to hear from your perspective. Why is time so important?
Time is the most expensive thing. That's one thing I can't ask for more of, and that's one thing I can't get back. All of us. So yeah, I just think time is the one thing that we all have that we completely waste. How much time do we waste on our phones? How much time do we waste arguing with someone? How much time do we waste being lazy? You know what I mean? And I do believe rest is important, but there's a difference between resting and being lazy. But I just think time is something that we should all value, and it's also something that we don't value. Yeah.
So just to get into your music, and like, because well, what do you feel like is the one thing that you are doing that is like main priority? Because you're doing a lot of things.
Yeah. Me. That's it. I'm the main priority. You know what I mean? So I'm learning to go with the flow of life, because we put timetables on things. We put expectations on things. I'm completely done doing that. I'm just learning to be myself as much as I can be. If I don't feel like going to the studio, I will not be there. You know what I mean? If I don't feel like getting on the meeting, I'll say to my manager, hey, I don't want to be on the meeting. You know what I mean? I'm learning to say okay when my body tells me something or when my mind tells me something. Like going with the flow has helped me become more productive. Cause like my intuition is already telling me go record, go make this flyer, go do this, go do that. So I just jump on that opportunity. You know what I mean? It's not scheduled out at all. I just go with the flow. That's it. Yeah.
So how important is it to listen to these opportunities, like or in taking advantage of opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's super important. Yeah. To listen to your intuition.
Yes,
or just
intuition.
Opportunities in general.
Your intuition.
Oh yeah. It's the most important thing to listen to your intuition because, all right, here's a gem. Like people, they teach us in school that we only have one brain, right?
Yep.
It's not true. It's not true. We have three brains. You have your mind, you have your heart, and you have your gut. If there's trouble around, you're gonna feel your gut is gonna let you know. All right, maybe I should get out of here, right? Or if you have a breakup, where's the first place you feel it at? Sorry. If you have a breakup, the first place you feel that at is your heart, right? And then obviously we use our mind most of the time, but you definitely have three brains, and my gut is the one that I listen to the most because that is the one that is the knowing that I spoke about before. There's no belief in your gut. It's no, I know this. Sometimes your heart makes you believe, oh, this person's the right one. Sometimes your brain makes you believe, no, this is the school I want to go to. No, this is what I want to do. But your gut is the one that does not lie to you. So it's important to listen to your gut and to jump on that opportunity.
Got you.
And that instinct.
Got you. So since you do so many things and you're focused on you, right? What is one thing that you haven't been able to get your hands on that you're still trying to get your hands on?
I want to do like, you know how Kanye kind of and Travis Scott and all these guys, they kind of produce, and Beyonce, they do their own set when they perform.
Yep.
We're getting there. You know what I mean? But that's something I want to do is create a set and create a moment for people. You know, there's so many, my brain is already down the line, but I'm learning to just remain present and just go through what I'm going through now and try to enjoy it. But that's something I want to do is like create my own set to perform on. And I want to do a live band. Like I know the people, I got the people, I just need to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to perform with a live band. And I want to learn how to play piano.
Okay.
I just spoke to somebody today about that. He said he's going to teach me, so I'm going to text him. So.
And one thing that you're doing that a lot of people aren't is doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you're able to do things and just be like, all right, I want to do clothing. How? Oh, I want to learn how to play piano. How? Where can I get the information? How can I learn? Who can teach me? And you're going out and getting that information.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people be like, damn, I would really like to play piano. I don't really know anybody, so let's keep it like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you're taking the initiative and actually doing it. How important is it to just do it?
Well, I was raised by a single mom. You know, I'm sitting there watching someone who just has to do it. I even talked to her like, how did you even, like, if we didn't have money, she would go work another job or another job. You know, if she didn't have certain things, she would just go get it done. And that's one thing she taught me is stop talking. She used to, all right, that's too much. She'd go like this. All right, that's too much talking. That's too much. Just go do it. So I've adopted that mindset. It's like more action, less talking. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just hungry for it. I love life so much that I want to do as much as I can while I'm here. Mm-hmm. That's a part of valuing time. If you value time, a lot of these things figure themselves out. You'll learn to spend time with yourself because you value it. You'll learn to go get stuff done because you value it. I mean, I look at so many people like when their time is up and they still have regrets. I don't want to be one of those people. So, and I won't be. So I just get it done. That's my mindset. I'm hungry for it. Yeah. A lot of people, they talk about it. They're not really hungry for whatever they want. They don't want it that bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is one of the best moments you've had here on
Earth? That's funny. Let me see. Okay, one of the best moments I had is last July. I took a risk. I did my own show, right? No promoter. For the first 2 years of my career, a promoter was telling me, come here, bring people, sell tickets, and I'll cut you a little cash on the side. Cool. I would do it. It would be like $200. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll be like, yo, I just got paid for a performance. This is crazy. This is 1 and 2 years in front of 500 people. Mm-hmm. Last year, I'm like, I gotta after the pandemic, I'm like, people want to see me. we got to do our own show. Again, bossing up. So we did our own show. It sold out, 400 people. It was to the point where my manager came from collecting money. He's like, anyone could just come in at this point. Like, it doesn't even matter. We made what we wanted to make. But just after that show, after performing in front of people, hearing people sing my songs back to me, I'm like, whoa, you don't know who listens to you until you see them, you know? And just looking at all this money on the table, that was a mind-blowing thing to me, because I'm like, yo, I left school. People told me I was crazy, you're not going to make money, you're not going to have a job, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. And just to see this manifestation come through, mind-blowing. I think that was one of the best moments of my life, because I've realized that, oh no, this was real. The power of your mind is real. The power of your actions is real. Taking risks is real. You know, like, I think that was the most important thing, and one of the most mind-boggling and like, whoa, things to me is that sometimes you get so used to being at the bottom, you get so used to clawing and scratching for what you want and what you need. I've seen my mom do it. I see my dad do it. I've even done it myself. You know, it's like constantly a fight. And for that moment to happen where you make money off of doing something you love, mine was blown. No one in my family has done that. You know what I mean? No one that I know personally has done that.
Yeah.
From something you love, from words, from words. Like, I wrote these words down in my garage, and these people are singing it back to me. And I engineered the music.
Yeah, simple as
I'm
that.
speechless. You know what I mean? Even at this moment, it's like, you don't even feel like you deserve those type of things. But what I'm learning is you have to embrace it, accept it, and you do deserve it.
Exactly.
You do deserve it. So
I actually want to go back a little bit. You mentioned that you grew up with a single mother.
Yeah.
And I feel like with individuals that grow up with one parent, right, it is probably one of the most motivating things in the world. Not to say that people with two aren't as motivated, but it's just seeing one individual struggle so much because she loves you so much, right? Like, how much do you appreciate everything that your mother has been able to do for you?
I mean, I try to show her through actions as much as I can, but the words can't describe how appreciative I am. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like only my actions can. So if I could go give her some money, if I could just be there for her, take her where she needs to go, make her life somewhat easier, I'm going to do it. Period. There's no questions about it. Even if I have to, if she called me to do something for her right now and we had this, I might have been like, yo, I'm gonna be like 20 minutes late, because that's how I've seen her do it for me a million times.
Exactly.
And even if I do that every single day of the week, it's still not enough to pay her back. You know what I mean? So what my mom has done for me means everything to me. Like, she's the reason I'm me. For real. She's the reason I'm this version of myself. So I give her majority, if not all, the credit. Honestly, yeah.
Got you.
For sure.
You also mentioned that the best moment you had was because you took a risk. Why do you feel like taking a risk is something that everybody should do?
Because you get to really put to test all the things you've been saying, or all of the things that you've been living. If this is true, risk it. Put it on the table. A lot of times we make a lot of safe bets, like, I'll just do half, I'll do this. No, risk it. Jump out the window. And what I'm learning is, if your heart is pure and if you're doing it with good intentions, the universe or God is going to catch you. Yeah. It may not be how you want it to be or how you've seen it, or it may be bigger. You know what I mean? But it's going to happen, and it's going to be good results from your risk. Don't be foolish, obviously, but I think risks are super important. And even right now, I'm in that space of taking risks. But the biggest risk I took was leaving school. You know, then the second risk I took was leaving the state. I never took a plane by myself. I was always with someone, whether it was a girl, a friend, a parent. On tour, I literally was like, damn, none of my friends could come with me. Crap. I literally had to go to Utah all the way by myself. And that was another risk. I was nervous. I'm only 22 at this point. You know what I mean? So super nervous, but it's like, if you really want this, and if you really about what you say you're about, go for it. And I think we all need to adopt that mindset. Go for it. It's about valuing time again. Hey, I'm only going to be this young for this much time. You know, I might as well jump on that freaking plane and go get it. I might as well jump and put out a show. Even if 10 people show up, I might as well go do it.
Yeah.
And I think energetically people feel that, you know, so I think it's just super important to take risks. People say it all the time, but I'm someone who's listening to these people. right? I'm listening to the Drakes, the Kanyes, the Jay-Z's. There's always a kid or somewhere or someone listening. I'm listening and I'm applying. And that's something most people don't do is the apply part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before we go on, please don't jump out your window. We don't need to listen. Stay right here, okay? But to continue going on, right? Like your mindset is something that, like, not that I aspire, because I feel like I'm at a spot where I'm very confident with myself. Like I can relate to what you're doing, and I feel like a lot of people, once they gain that confidence, understand that other people's opinions don't fucking matter. You live so much better.
Yeah.
You realize that I make my decisions. I live the way I want to live. They're going to have their opinions. You can never take anybody's opinions away, but you can always understand that you don't have to listen to them.
Yep.
There are some you should. I feel like when it comes to opinions, the people closest to you are the ones that understand, hey, I got you. You know what I mean? But the people that don't know you, when I say don't know you, I mean like really don't know you or don't know you at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't know you. They never seen you. Even people that see you all the time, they're going to be like, yo, what are you doing? You don't, bro, don't talk to me. I know what I'm doing.
Yep.
And be confident in yourself.
Yep.
Why shouldn't people listen to those opinions?
Did they pay any bills? Did they help you eat? You know what I mean? This is something I actually thought about all week. It's like, you ain't helped me do anything, not even get to this point. And you haven't done it yourself.
Exactly.
So one of the things my mom taught me was look at the person talking. Look at what they've accomplished. Look at what they've done. Not to say what they would say is BS, but a lot of people just talk. Like we said in the beginning, it's just words. It's a waste of time, honestly. So, yeah, don't listen to people. Like I said, the 3 brains thing, right? Listen to your gut.
Got
Your
you.
gut is going to put you where you need to be every time.
I got you. So I do want to, a lot of these questions are going to be a lot more deeper questions. I'm going to be getting a little bit more into I'm going to ask you questions that I feel like a lot of people may have close to you might ask you.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that makes you happy?
Happiness is like something that I don't even abide by anymore. Okay. I abide by peace. Happiness is always temporary. It's never forever. But peace I can get way longer than happiness. You know what I mean? But the things that bring me peace is quiet time. Understanding gives me peace when people understand me. Meditation, God brings me peace. Let me see. And just having the people that I love around brings me peace.
Gotcha. Yeah. And what do you feel like has built you into the individual that you are today?
The struggle. Yeah. Just hard times. Life itself. I feel like life has been, it'd be times that I'm like, all right, I got one more round. Like, you know what I mean? Like life has been kicking my ass, but I always prevail. And I think that's the trade-off. It's like a catch-22. It's like, yeah, you're going to get effed up, but you win on the other side. Yeah. So you got to keep pushing. So, yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like when it comes to struggle, right? If we could get a little bit into that, if you're okay with talking about it. What struggle do you feel like did you go through and you were like, I either don't want to be here, I don't want to experience this again. I don't want to feel what I'm feeling at this moment.
Okay. I would say financial struggles. You know what I mean? Like of course, on my journey, it's peaks and valleys, everything. So on my journey from leaving school, hey, you just left school, you have student debt, and you don't have a degree to go get a job. But like I said, trust your gut. When I left school, something told me, God told me, leave school, clear as day, leave school and do music. I'm looking in my dorm. I was by myself. I'm like, okay. And the second thought I heard was, if you apply yourself, you could be the best ever. I left. So the financial struggle was, what do you do now? Right? Yeah. What do you do now? Now that you're home, where are you going to work? McDonald's? No. My pride is too high to do that. You know what I mean? Not to say there's anything wrong with McDonald's, but my pride was too high. I'm like, I can't leave school and people see me like, you want a number 3? Nah, I can't do that. So, I trusted God and I ended up getting a manager position at the YMCA. You know what I mean? Which is something that people didn't think I could get. I got all the benefits. I was making more than the people who graduated. college. They're working at the AMC movie theaters. I'm working. I have a whole desk. You know what I mean? I'm working a corporate job. I have corporate meetings. The CEO, the COO, they're all talking to me. They're in my emails. We had, and mind you, I'm 21 years old at this point. This is how I know God exists. I wasn't supposed to have that job, but I was more than qualified without the degree. And they were cool. They like, we like you as a person. We like who you are. We believe in your leadership. And that kind of taught me the game in the world of business. I got to see the back end of it, like contracts, $1 million contracts. You know what I mean? Just seeing how a business was ran, the fiscal year, things like that, like the jargon of a business, just seeing how it was run. That was what I needed to see. So that struggle of in between that time of finding like, whoa, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
All I knew was make your music. Even, and shout out to Rich Icy. I just told him this the other day. He's doing a show with me. He was saying, I was telling him that even though I didn't have money like that at that time, I would be at the studio for 6 hours, 8 hours, and it was his studio, and he would just be like, just give me $100. I'm like, mind you, the session was probably like $330. You know what I mean? Like, but he always cut me a break, So I just feel like these are the things that made me. Every time I jumped, I was caught. So it goes back to taking risks. Jump, and you're gonna get caught.
Exactly.
But that was one of the things. It was financial. You know, like what am I gonna do? You can't borrow from your parents from every time. You know what I mean? You got to figure it out. So
exactly. And I feel like, and I got to say, that's probably one of the hardest things. I feel like for an individual to do at just your age, you know what I mean? And there's other struggles that people go through, but at the end of the day, you completely took a whole different path, and you honestly, not that you did it blindly, but you didn't know what was going to happen after, because the plan is that, you know, the normal I talk about all the time, but the normal is school, college, get a job, right? Yep. You said school, college, wait, I'm not, finishing that. I'm good. But the fact of the matter is that you were lost. You didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know that you were eventually in time will tell. Yep. But the fact of the matter is, in that moment, you were just like, I don't know that people in the future are going to actually sing my songs. I don't know that this is going to make me a living. I don't know. There's a lot of I don't knows in this moment. But you were able to say, my heart's strong, and I'm able to get up the next morning and understand that it's going to be hard. Yep. And I always say it, life is never going to be easy. You know what I mean? Even the rich have a hard life. You know what I'm saying? Nothing in life is easy, and nothing in life is easy to obtain, but it's never impossible to obtain. Anything is within your grasp. You could get anything in life if you really want it. Yep. But the fact of the matter is, I do feel like that was definitely a hard time for you. And I've also had other individuals that talk about that as well, dropping out and taking that risk to get into it, just like we got into risk before. But the fact of the matter is that you did it, and you're doing it, and you're constantly every day waking up and going, I'm going to continue to do this. And I feel like you have to have a strong grasp, like you said, as to who you are, and be confident in that, and understand that you are who you are, and you're proud of what you've been able to become. So I definitely have to give you your flowers on that.
I appreciate that. That means a lot, bro.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course.
For real.
But we are getting close to the end. I feel like we've been able to talk about a lot, but the fact of the matter is, I do want to ask the questions that I usually ask people at the end. But one of them is definitely got to be, if there was anything in this world that you could change to make it better, what would you do?
This is something I always think about, and something in me wants to change the world. You know what I mean? Since I was a kid, I've always seen things differently. The one thing I would change would probably be, this is super woke, but the system itself, it doesn't sustain us. Like you said, go to school, get a job, doesn't sustain any type of happiness. I don't know anyone who's worked 2 jobs as a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like, it's just broken. The whole system is broken. I don't know anyone in school who really knows themselves on a deep, deep, deep level, you know? I would just say the system in general, which people might not even understand that they're in a system, but we're in a system. And that's the one thing I would change.
And the thing that's sad, and I have to agree on this aspect, where we're taught to be employees. And that's sad. You know what I mean? We're taught to work for somebody else. And I feel like a lot of people for example, just, a billionaire, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
No one believed in his Amazon career. I've spoken about it before in another podcast, but the fact of the matter is that he understood that he was taking a risk, understood that he was going out of the normal, and now he has a billion, maybe $1 trillion company that has, I don't know one person who doesn't use Amazon. You know what I mean? Like everybody
in one
orders,
way or another. Yeah.
Exactly. You're ordering something from there. So the fact of the matter is that taking risk, they do pay off. Does every risk? No. You're going to have failures. You're going to have things that aren't going to sustain you, and you have to understand that it was a failure. But I don't really like to consider that completely because it's a learning experience. Everybody needs to fail to understand that nothing is perfect in life. Another question I want to ask you, right? I hope you've never been asked this question before, at least on a podcast. But I implemented this question to really get to know you and people. Well, one, to get to know yourself. What is a message that you would give to your future self?
To my future self. A message I would give to my future self. That's a good question. I've never been asked that. So you got that point. A question I would give to my future self, or just anything?
Anything at all.
Anything.
Just a message that you would want to send to him. Because without knowing, we give messages to our future self without realizing. Instagram posts, reels, anything at all that's caught on social media, caught on
it's a moment in time.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would probably ask my future self, how is it? You did it. You did it. How was it? Was it as hard as it seems, or was it as difficult? Was it worth it? That's what I would say. Are you happy? Are you at peace? I mean, so those are the questions I would ask, because even though it seems like I have a grip on the journey, it's still out of my hands. You know what I mean? And I think that's the best part about it, which is why I'm trying to stay in the moment as always, so I can enjoy even this. Like, okay, I go 5 times platinum tomorrow. This conversation is going to be different. You know what I mean? Like, I might have to fly you to Miami or somewhere to do the interview. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like this moment might not ever happen again. So I'm trying to enjoy it. So I would just ask my future self, like, those type of questions. How was it? Was it worth it? Did you get everything you were looking for? Like things like that, because those are the questions that kind of pass through my mind, which I try to just let them go.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So something like that. That was a great question, though.
Of course. Thank you. I got one more. I got one more before the camera's all yours after this question.
Bet.
What do you want the world to know about Kase?
That's always tough for me, because even like with music, I never asked anyone to listen to my music. I just always felt like this is my destiny. People will find it. But the one thing I would like people to know is that I'm for the people. I'm for the people. I struggle just like everyone else. I've been through it. I'm honest. So I think that's what I would like people to know, is that I'm no different.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm just here to prove that you can do it too. I think that's why I was put on this earth.
Got you.
Yeah.
So this is the end of the podcast, right? Yes. The camera is now all yours. If there's anything you got going on, anything you want to say, any advice you want to give, anything at all, this is your time.
Okay. When is this coming out?
No clue.
Okay. Well, just in case it does come out soon, new project on the way.
Okay.
Golden Child 2. New show on the 30th. Hometown Heroes is called. And no matter what, don't quit. Whoever's listening, do not quit. Do not quit. Do not quit. Do not quit. Keep going. It only gets better. It only gets better in the long run. So that would probably be my message to anyone listening, for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. He mentioned the 30th. By the time this video comes out, I don't know when it's going to come out. But if it already did, if this video comes out afterwards, I'm just telling the date so you understand. It is June 9th. So the 30th, if it's past the 30th, is out. So go check it out. But I got to say, Kase, thank you so much for coming. I hope I did a great job as a podcaster.
You did. This was great. I want to give you your flowers too, because most interviews and podcasts is very cookie cutter. You have your own thing going on. I see you got the wall over there where everyone's writing their signature. You got your own little thing, and I want you to know that I'm proud of you, even though we barely know each other. I'm proud of you. Keep going. Don't quit. Believe in yourself and stay headstrong. Like, keep going forward. Do not quit. And if you ever need me, I'm here.
I appreciate that, honestly.
No doubt.
And I appreciate you saying that because we spoke off camera.
Yeah.
I work my ass off.
Yeah.
I do everything I can to possibly make this happen. And it's probably one of the best feelings. I got to say, I say it at every time after one of my podcasts, even off camera. My best experience during this entire thing is meeting the individuals that sit where you're sitting. Because I'm learning as I go. Like, I'm not perfect. As I sit here, I'm learning about you. I'm learning about different aspects of life, understanding what life is in different people's minds. You know what I mean? Because we all think differently, which is the beauty of this world.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate that.
You already, bro. Hopefully we do a part 2 because I'm like, damn, this is too quick. I'm ready to go again. But yeah, hopefully we do a part 2.
Nah, definitely. Yeah. Whatever you want to do it, let's do it.
All right, bet.
Matter of fact, we're gonna book after this.
Bet.
But just to end it off, like I said, thank you so much. This is the Community Pod. I'm your host, Lester Class, and I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, put on post notifications so you never miss a future video. Like, comment your favorite part. I hope you didn't jump out the window because you would have missed that part. Last but not least, for the audio people, please leave a review. It allows other people to find my platform. If you are new here, welcome to the Community Pod. And if you've been watching this episode if you've been watching the Community Pod for some time, thank you so much for being here. I couldn't be the Community Pod without people joining this community. So thank you so much. This is the Community Pod, and we are out. Peace.